All right, light up those pumpkins, everybody, because we are live. Let's see who else is awake and alive out there tonight. What's up, everybody? Happy Michael Myers Monday. Welcome to this week's live broadcast from HDN headquarters. If you're new here, I'm Matt with Halloween Daily News, and this is our weekly gathering of the Halloween franchise movie fans here on YouTube and on the HDN channel, and where we just geek out on all of the week's news regarding Halloween Ends and the franchise in general and all things Michael Myers. So welcome if you happen to be new. And to all of our returning friends, what's up, everybody? Happy Michael Myers Monday. How is everybody this evening? Thank you for being here. Let's see. I see a number of people already checking in the live chat. I'm going to go right over here right now as we're getting things started here. You're here on a good night. We got some fun Halloween Ends news we're going to talk about in just a minute. That's pretty much all we're talking about, really. A few other little small things, but that's what we're going to be talking about tonight. Not going to be on here real long. I know I say that all the time, and then midnight comes and goes, but we'll see how that goes. But the plan is not to be on here too long because we don't have a whole lot of news to talk about. But we do have a few items. But mainly, I want to check in with you guys and see how everybody's doing tonight. Again, happy Michael Myers Monday, everybody. Let's see. I see Larry is here. Halloween Ends updates is checked in early. Lots of pumpkins there. David M11 is here. Charlie. Aminira. 104 days left till trailer. My buddy David Suber is in the house. What's up, man? Thanks for being here. Patrick Ring is here. Happy Michael Myers Monday. Lots of familiar names in here. There's Phil, of course. Thanks for being here, man. Young Major, Saint, everybody, welcome. Happy Michael Myers Monday. Thanks for joining the live stream this week and for participating in the live chat. Like I said, we do have some stuff to talk about this week, so it's an exciting one. Let's see. There's Hardyverse has checked in. Glad to be here. Awesome. So we got a good little crowd checking in here tonight. Yes, as people are filtering in real quick, I usually do a quick little show and tell, and sometimes I like to show you guys something new in stock, but I also like to let you guys know, because you guys are the most important audience we have, our Monday Night Live audience here. Any of our live audiences are the best. But whenever we have a low stock alert as well, and these are items that we carry in our store, HalloweenDailyNews.com/shop, and whenever we're whenever we're running really low on anything, especially Myers related, I try to give you guys the heads up. And as of right now, we are almost all out of Halloween 1978 Myers masks. We are out of the deluxe 78 mask. This is actually the Boogeyman edition by Trick or Treat Studios, and this is actually the last one we've currently got in stock. This one right here. This is, like I said, the Boogeyman mask. The idea is it's from the end of the film after Michael's been stabbed and he's stalking Laurie. And that's why he's got the wound there. But this is, I think, I've said it before, just my opinion, I love this mask. And I think it's Trick or Treat's best version of the straight Shatner as Michael mask. Anyway, this is our last one. They're $60 online. And all of our orders right now, while supplies last, get a free HDN decal thrown in. So you get a sticker for your car or whatever. And if you're watching this, and whoever picks this one up, if somebody watches this and picks it up within the next 24 hours, I've done this before, but we're only going to do it for 24 hours until midnight Tuesday. If anybody watches this, even on replay, decides they want to get this, I'm going to throw in a little something extra in the box as well. So, but the catch is you got to let us know that it was you that bought it, that you watched Michael Myers Monday Live, you saw the broadcast, and hey, I want that last Boogeyman. But if you're on the fence about it, don't think about it too long, because again, this is the last one we've got in stock, and he is a beauty. So there we go. That is our low stock alert to get the show kicked off. down there. All right, let's see. How is everybody tonight? Hard Collector is here. Happy Michael Myers Monday. Hard Collector has a life-size animatronic of Mr. Myers. I do as well. I have the Party City Michael Myers that was Halloween 2 released last year. Did a whole video about the saga, the unboxing. It's a whole thing. I'm not gonna talk about it tonight, but it's in another video. I love that thing. Let's see. TF2's best game changed my mind. When Halloween Ends comes out, they should do a limited sale of the trilogy on VHS. That'd be cool. Andromeda's here. Hello, 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 hello. Happy Michael Myers Monday. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, great to see everybody filtering in here this week. Like I said, we do have some exciting Halloween Ends news to talk about. Nothing too major, but we're going to talk about that. But before we even do that, let's I put the photo up a minute ago, and a lot of you guys were posting about it. But let's go ahead and pour one out, as they say, for Mitchell Ryan, and let's pay our respects to Mr. Mitchell Ryan. Of course, played Dr. Wynn in the 6th Halloween franchise film, The Curse of Michael Myers. Of course, Dr. Wynn, aka the Man in Black, as he's revealed to be in the producer's cut. So, a toast to Mr. Mitchell Ryan, who sadly passed away this past week, just a few days ago. He was in lots of other movies that you'll recognize him in, a great character actor, but he was great. Really, really, really the perfect guy to play Dr. Wynn in The Curse of Michael Myers. So, a moment for Mitchell Ryan. Happy Michael Myers Monday, Mitchell. All right. As I am having a drink of my Michael Myers mango twist, my customary Triple M. Let's see. Updates likes my hat. Awesome. Appreciate it. Let's see. Grayson says, I can't wait to see what the mask looks like in Halloween Ends. Yeah, I'm very excited for that. Yeah, we're gonna have lots of theories and lots of time to speculate on exactly what's going to be happening with Michael's mask in the film. But yeah, I can't wait to see what Christopher Nelson and his team have done for this one. And it's me says, have you heard about the morons posting rumors on Twitter and Instagram? I see all kinds of ridiculous comments, and I guess you could call them rumors, posted all over the place all the time. So if that's what you mean, then yeah, I've seen plenty of that. Uh, let's see. All right, let's get to the Halloween Ends news. All right, guys, because we do have some news. As you guys know, filming is going on, but not for very much longer. So that's what we're going to talk about tonight. Let's see. I see Byron has checked in as well. I'm excited for Halloween Ends. Awesome, awesome, excellent. All right. Now what we are going to look at is a few of these posts from various individuals involved in the production. Let me pull this up for us so we can check this out. Here we All right. All right. So you guys know filming has been going on for about roughly 6 weeks now, um, in Savannah, Georgia, and we've reported this and talked about this extensively. And excuse me, enjoying my triple M over here, triple M twist. Let's see. Let me pull these photos up. We are going to look at. Johnny Trouble says, yup. Like, I read something like the journalist from 2018 is coming back. For what? That would be lame. Yeah, I haven't really seen that. But, Young Major comments on my shirt. Yeah, I'm glad I came back in here. Yes, I wore the shirt in honor of Mr. Ryan because I don't really have specifically a Halloween 6 specific t shirt. But this is one of my mini Myers House, North Carolina shirts. You've heard me talk about Myers House, North Carolina. Um, but you'll see down there, Kenny has, and he has this at his actual house, the decoration from Halloween 6, the He's Coming decoration. So I figured that was the closest thing to an H6 T-shirt I got. So again, for Mitchell Ryan, I figured it was appropriate for this week to wear that one. But thanks for noticing, man. I appreciate it. Let's see. Dirk says finally getting to meet Dick Warlock, Lance Guest, and Leo Rossi. TFW April 29th. Awesome, awesome. Well, tell him we said hi, especially Mr. Warlock. We love Dick Warlock. He is a good friend. Definitely tell him Matt and Sue at Halloween Daily News said hi when you meet him. He's awesome. Thank you. Thank you for the awesome shirt. Yes. Myers House, North Carolina. You can find that at MyersHouseNC.com. I'll give them another plug. We love them. It's a life-size replica of the actual Myers house where our buddy Kenny lives. And they will do tours. You got to just go to his website and check it out. Yeah. All right, let's get to the Halloween ends, shall we? Yeah, that's where you want to check it out for sure. Let's see. I'm going to put that over here. All right, Halloween Ends is filming in Savannah, Georgia, as you know, but not for very long. Halloween Ends wraps this week, as far as we know, and that is evidenced in numerous posts to social media from the cast and pretty much mostly from the crew at this point, that have basically let it be known that things are definitely winding down. And that also goes along with some recent casting calls for mainly for background extras talent that I've seen. Some dated for today, Monday, one dated for tomorrow, and then something dated for as far out as this Wednesday, March 9th. And I've not seen anything with my own eyes dated further out than this Wednesday. So that's as far as I know for sure that scene something is scheduled to be shot. How prominent it is, who knows? But we've seen a number of new photos posted to social media in the last few days. So this is our usual roundup of Halloween Ends social media posts. Much of which, like I said, has definitely indicated that filming production of the principal photography in Savannah, Georgia, is winding down as we speak. They're probably shooting a few final scenes tonight, maybe fittingly on this Michael Myers Monday. So let's look at the latest uh, images from the set of Halloween Ends. Starting just a few days ago with Blumhouse producer Ryan Turek. And one of the things that you're going to notice in a lot of these posts that I really appreciate is that this has been a lot of the same people behind the scenes, behind the camera, in front of the camera as well, of course, but a lot of the people, same people behind the camera working on all three of these David Gordon Green Blumhouse Halloween films. And I really do appreciate the fact that this has been a journey for them. And the fact that it's all coming to an end, coming to ends, uh, it's definitely, I think, bittersweet for a lot of them at this point. And as the shooting winds down, as the days are coming to a close, some of these crew members have shared a little more freely on their social media, and we've taken the opportunity to capture what we could of these last few moments of what is going to be the last Halloween film, at least for a little while. We know that much. So again, right here, Ryan Turek. This was posted 3 days ago, and at that point, he was saying they were at day 32 of filming, and again, confirming right there, almost done. And that is some of Christopher Nelson's special effects makeup team right there, and of course, Christopher is right there with Ryan in the photo. You can see some of the other team members. Well, Vincent Van Dyke comments there in the comments. And of course, star of Halloween Ends, Andy Matichak, also comments in there. And then we'll take a look over on Instagram. You can see right here screenshot where Christopher Nelson reposted that same photo in his IG stories. Almost done indeed, he says, and he thanks Fright Rags for making the FX makeup department t-shirts. And we'll go ahead and get a better look at one of those t-shirts right here. This is on Jill Fogel. She posted this on her IG stories. Crew shirts are in, she says, and she's rocking one of those shirts apparently made by Fright Rags for Christopher's special effects makeup crew. And you can see she tags Chris down there in the bottom and thanks him. I know a lot of people have commented online that they want those shirts. It's got 1978 on top, 2022 on bottom, and it's Halloween written in that font and with that pumpkin that goes back to the earliest images that we saw when they were just shooting Halloween 2018, and then it's almost like the word ends has been painted over the last two letters in the word Halloween in blood, of course. And Jill Fogel again posting members of that team. There's Christopher again. Some fun shots. Again, these crew members have created all of these most memorable special effects in all three of these films. And like I said, I really appreciate the fact that this has been a journey for them that started in the winter of 2018, and here we are now, the coming out of the winter of 2022. So this 4 year journey now, it'll be 4.5 years when the film is released finally. But yeah, their time together is coming to an end here, and clearly they're marking the occasion a little bit. And how cool of Chris to get Fright Rags, you know, the horror T-shirt makers, the best quality. I mean, their shirts are really nice, by the way. They're really comfortable and soft. But how cool to get Fright Rags to make these crew shirts. that's not all, is there? Oh no. There is lots more where that came from. Oh, well, here's another one. While we were screen grabbing, this isn't really from the set, but this is Jill Fogel again, part of the crew makeup department. Excited when I told her I'd be home in 1 week. And this again was posted a few days ago. So, yet more indication and confirmation that filming is wrapping this week. Oh, and here's another shot of the wrap gift. Looks like there's a jacket there with the Myers and the knife, the James Jude Courtney Myers there on that jacket. And you'll be able to see exactly what the card says. Let me pull that up here. There's another shot of Jill on set with Ryan Turek. She says, when your producer pulls an all-nighter with the rest of the crew. Of course. I mean, if you were Ryan, wouldn't you want to be there soaking in every single second of this you could? I know I would. All right. And some people have left the set. As we know, Jamie Lee Curtis has left. Other people have left the set. Trankist producer Ryan Freeman has left. He posted this a few days ago in his IG stories. Final sunset in Savannah. As Halloween ends, heads towards a wrap. And again, this was posted last week. Right, and let me see what else I can pull up for you guys. Oh yeah, this is a good one too. Yeah, let's go over here to sound mixer Kevin Strom, another crew member on Halloween Ends. Check out his wrap gift. He says, he posted this 2 days ago. He says, it's a Halloween miracle, LOL. I got my very own trilogy jacket. Such an honor to be part of Halloween Ends. And there you see Halloween crew written in the blade of a butcher knife. And then the years 2018 to 2022. And then Kevin gave us a really good look at this card that was sent to the crew. We caught a little glimpse of it in Jill's post a minute ago. But here it is, and here's what it says. Movies are little miracles. Hundreds of people come together to create fragments that then get linked and become movies. Every single crew and cast member of Halloween, Halloween Kills, and Halloween Ends have contributed their own special gifts, talents, focus, and passions towards David Gordon Green's Halloween trilogy. We are so grateful to each and every one of you for your contributions, and we hope when you wear this, you will do so with great pride and remembrance of the wonderful creative time we had together. And then it's signed Jamie, David, Danny, Malik, Bill, and Jason. And again, we're getting a good look at this courtesy of Halloween Ends sound mixer Kevin Strom, sharing this on his Instagram. But that's not all. Oh no. Oh no. We got a few more. Oh, well, this one I just screen grabbed from Turek's IG stories. Clearly, he's feeling a little nostalgic. And again, like I said, it's great to see that this is a bit bittersweet for this team because, this is the last of this trilogy, the last, at least for a while, that we know, um, you know, they're wrapping this up. And Turek shared this flashback image opening that Halloween Criterion laser disc for the first time. What else did we have on here? Oh yeah, and then down in the comments of that group photo, I just want to mention this because I know some people, I've seen some comments, some people worried that the pandemic and COVID are gonna like play too much of a role in Halloween Ends or like be like a major plot device. And while I've said I think it's cool that it's happening in real time 4 years later and real life events like that can be acknowledged, and I don't expect that they'll be ignored. I've never expected that it would be like a plot point, but I have seen some comments on social media and places, um, crazy stuff like it'll be COVID that finally kills Michael Myers in Halloween Ends, and which would be just unbelievably ridiculous on so many levels. But I think we can, anybody that's worried about that. I mean, I never really gave it much serious consideration myself, but Ryan Turek does kind of address that as well in the comments of that post when somebody says, a fan comments, please keep the pandemic stuff to barely a mention. Um, Turek responds, quote, COVID having something to do with the plot is a very odd rumor, end quote. So again, I mean, not, you know, not completely saying that COVID won't be mentioned at all in the film, but I mean, I think that pretty much clears up any confusion that it's not going to be like any kind of major uh, plot device for Halloween Ends. Okay, and then we get to today. Just today, of course, on Michael Myers Monday, the man himself, as we say, Christopher Nelson, shared those great t shirt designs. Good look at them right there. You can see there's more than one design. And he again thanks Fright Rags for making the FX makeup department crew shirts. And he says they're a big hit. And then he says again, just earlier today on Monday, March 7th, quote, nearing the end with great thanks to my teammates. And of course, he gives huge shout outs to his teammates, Vincent Van Dyke, and Couldn't Be Done Without You. He also says, also great thanks to Eric Porn and Joe Fogel for hanging in and stepping up, he says. All right, what's up, ProtectSafes.com? Coming in with a $10 super chat. So much appreciated, man. Thank you so much, everybody. Let's pause and give ProtectSafes.com a toast and a happy Michael Myers Monday. Much appreciated. So, like we said, production is definitely winding down these last few days. Before we get to that, though, one more thing I did just want to mention, just because we haven't talked about it on here. There we go. Yeah, here we go. One more thing I did want to mention, just because we haven't really talked about it here yet, is one of the locations that was posted on a local news website in Savannah. This is courtesy of WJCL.com. And this is what appears to be a closed car wash, which apparently is located at the address of one of the filming sites, one of the filming locations of Halloween Ends. And according to a permit filed with the city for the filming, the scenes that were going to be filmed there would include police officers and apparently some kind of crime scene going on here at the deserted, closed car wash. So you can make of that what you will. Let's see here. David says, "Nice shirts, great souvenir." Yeah, that's. I mean, they're gonna remember that forever. This experience of making these three movies, and rightfully so, man. I mean, these films will be the entry point to this franchise for an entire generation. Let's see here. Andromeda says, "I'll bet whoever dies, Michael or Lori, they all cried during the shooting of the death." Yeah, I can't wait to hear the behind the scenes stories of shooting this one. I think, we've talked to a lot of the people that made the last two films. A lot of emotion on those sets. I mean, certainly a ton of emotion in 2018, and I think this being the last one, and I'm really seeing it in these crew photos. I think because they, even as much as the cast, if not more so, every single day in the trenches, right there, those long hours, and many times just as long, if not longer, than the actors. Andromeda said, "I hope Michael didn't get killed by the car wash. I hope not." Yeah, that would be a little lame of an ending. David says they didn't really have a whole lot of extras calls for ends. Yeah, not too many, but there were some, but not a whole lot. Which again, it goes back to what David Gordon Green said in the very beginning. It's going to be a smaller film, more intimate film. We imagine that means a smaller cast. It's going to be more Laurie and Allison centric, I think, and all that makes sense. Larry says, "Laurie better be careful." She said, "Let me take my head as I take his." Yeah, that's what she said. That is her line. I love how she also gives a shout out to the curse of Michael Myers at the end of HK as well. You know, they stop short of actually saying the full subtitle, but she does literally say the words "the curse of Michael." Speaking of Jamie Lee Curtis, good segue there. We're not done with the HE talk tonight. Oh no. We've got some new comments from Jamie Lee Curtis herself about Halloween Ends. And she was at a charity function for her favorite charity, the Children's Hospital of Los Angeles. And she was recently at a function where she was interviewed by ET Online. And most of it was about her charity work. But inevitably, the subject of Halloween Ends did come up, and this interviewer knew enough to know that she just recently wrapped filming her portions of the movie. So this is what she had to say. Speaking to ET Online, Jamie Lee Curtis says of rapping on Halloween Ends, she says, quote, "It's very emotional. I said a farewell to a group of people that I've made 3 movies with. I've said farewell to a woman who I've inhabited for 44 years," end quote. Now, I'm ending quote here because this is actually not her exact direct quote. If you actually watch the video version of this interview, then you'll hear that what she actually says now, and this is her word for word quote. She says, quote, "I've said farewell for the time being to a woman who I've inhabited for 44 years," end quote. Now, I'm not saying in any way that she's trying to say in any way, or even tease or leave the door open to coming back and playing Laurie Strode again. I don't think that's what she means at all. I'm just correcting the transcription here in this article that that's a little shortened version of what she said, and she does in that statement say for the time being. That being said, let's continue. Um, Again, I don't think she means anything by it. What I do think she means, honestly, I think she means that she's gonna promote the hell out of this movie, and she's gonna be back in Laurie Strode mode for some photo shoots and some press junkets in a few months, and in that way, she will kind of inhabit Laurie Strode a bit more. But I think what she means is, for the time being, she stepped away from the franchise in that way. I don't think she means for the time being, meaning she's going to come back and play Laurie Strode again. But again, that's her exact words. If you watch that video, here's what else she had to say. Again, speaking to ET Online about Halloween Ends, she says, "I mean, it's so cray cray for me." That's Jamie talking, quote. "It's so cray cray for me, the privilege of that, and the honoring of Laurie Strode," which, by the way, ET Online misspelled Laurie here, but typos happen. Yeah, I'm not going to say it's never happened to me. It certainly has plenty of times, but there's always somebody there to call me out on it. So the privilege of that and the honoring of Laurie Strode, and her journey has been very emotional, very painful, and satisfying because a whole new group of people are on the ride, end quote. And then she does have a statement here about the longevity of this franchise and why 44 years later we're still here talking about it. And Jamie says, quote, "It's because of her," meaning Laurie. "She and Michael are good versus evil. I think everybody in the world, we're seeing a lot of evil today in the world," end quote. And then she goes on to talk a lot more about her charity work with Children's Hospital of Los Angeles and her own recently formed charity, My Hand in Yours. She also mentions that she's going to be in an episode of Kyle Richards' Real Housewives of Beverly Hills TV series. Now, I love Jamie Lee Curtis. We all love Jamie Lee Curtis. And yes, this franchise would absolutely not be what it is without her, no doubt. Absolutely. But when she says it's all because of Lori that's kept the franchise going for 44 years, I mean, yes, the good and evil, the good versus evil, and Lori is this franchise's ultimate good character, absolutely, no question. And Michael is always pure evil, but I mean, if I'm gonna be honest, come on, it's Michael that's kept us all coming back all this time. It's Michael. Laurie, absolutely. You know, Loomis, absolutely. But it's really at the end of the day, it's Michael. Come on, it's Michael Myers Monday. What do you expect me to say? Um, Speaking of which, happy Michael Myers Monday, everybody. I gotta take a breath and a drink. So, new quotes from Jamie Lee Curtis. Let me know what you think about that. Let's check in on the live chat. Let's see. David says you never say never. LOL. Yeah, I mean that's the thing. You just never say never. And again, I don't. My personal opinion, I think she just means she's going to be promoting and kind of in Laurie Strode mode again. And that's probably what she means. But it did catch my ear that that was her words. Make of it what you will. Um, David says, I tried to be an extra for ends, but heard the set was tight because of pandemic. Yes, yes, yes. I heard it was definitely very tight. And yes, everybody that was an extra, yeah, vaccines were mandatory for everybody on that set. I know that for a fact. Um, Dirk Hall says, funny story. I had the H2 cardboard stand up in my window facing the street, and my neighbors give me the stink eye. That's awesome. Oh, I love that. That's great. I need that cardboard stand up. I love that. You know, Dick Warlock owns that as well. He sent us pictures of he and his wife at their house this past Halloween with that H2 cardboard cutout of himself. It's pretty awesome. And we showed it the following Monday after Halloween 2021 right here on Michael Myers Monday Live. Let's see here. Dirk says, man, really hope they don't ruin this film with political nonsense. I don't think there's going to be too much of that. I really don't. Larry says, I wonder if John Carpenter ever thought that 40 plus years ago, 78, we'd be talking about Michael Myers. I don't think he ever imagined it. No. Um, no, I don't think he imagined it. But man, I mean, when you create such an iconic character like that, yeah, he's going to be around long after all of us. Long after Carpenter, long after all of us, Michael will still be around. Absolutely. Phil says, I wish you could interview Jamie Lee Curtis. Well, you and me too, bro. Yeah, send her our way. We'd love to. Absolutely. Hey, she's gonna be promoting Halloween Ends. You know, what better place to come and promote that movie? I guess we're already the sold audience though. We've already bought our tickets. You know what I mean? Says, Lori, sit down. It ain't about you. Andromeda says they may have loved working together so much that maybe they will do a new timeline. You know, I say almost on a weekly basis here, daily basis almost. Never say never with this franchise. You never know. Anything's possible for sure. They've proven this over and over. I mean, literally, they've proven it so many times with Halloween 3, Halloween 4, with H2O. You know, with what they're doing now, they've proven this so many times that they can go in so many different directions. I think the possibilities are endless. So who knows? Let's see. Dylan has checked in. Hey guys, fortunate to be an extra in ends and was an extra in kills also. Awesome. Very cool, man. I'm sure you got some awesome stories. Very cool. Anything you can tell us about being an extra in ends? Anything about the type of scene, or was it just a Halloween night scene? Can you tell us that? That'd be cool to know. Andromeda says another set of sequels starting over from H78. So do a whole nother continuity with this same team. You think with David Gordon Green's whole team? I mean, you look at whether because I watched the Righteous Gemstones too, great show. It's that same team. Michael Simmons is shooting everything for the show. He shot all of these movies. He's the main cinematographer. Um, and he does an amazing job, especially in kills. We've talked so much about how they so seamlessly recreated the 78 stuff. But we did have one other little news item I'm going to get to real quick here. Larry Moore says, no lie, during the brother-sister timeline, it was so satisfying to hear Laurie scream for Michael in H2O. Oh, yeah. Yeah, my favorite part of H2O, for sure. That scream. Yeah. It was epic. And you're right. It was so satisfying. It was an epic moment. Um, yeah, that moment makes H2O, if you ask me, for sure. Yep. Dylan says, would love to say some stuff, but signed an NDA. I understand. Yep. We're going to have to wait and see. Awesome. Well, I'm sure that was an awesome experience, man. Really fun time. Yeah, I'm sure. I bet. Dirk says, what would you say your least favorite entry of the franchise is? Oh, man. I always get to, it's hard to rank them, but, yeah, I mean, when you get down around Resurrection and there's just, so many issues with that, probably that one. um, but I've never really released an official ranking because it does tend to change. Sometimes I watch certain ones and then I'm like, no, I do like that one a little bit more. But I should try to put together a ranking for you guys at some point, I guess. All right. We do have one other little piece of news here. Our friends at Trick or Treat Studios have announced yet another Michael Myers collectible figure. And let me see if I can get a good shot of this. Here, we're going to go over here. They've been doing their toy fair online all last week and right into this week. And just a few days ago, they announced a new 8-inch line of collectible figures. Trick or Treat Studios started doing these 1/6 scale figures, and their first one was Michael from Halloween '78, of course. Got to start there. Well, right in this first line of 8-inch figures, again, among the first in the line is Michael Myers from John Carpenter's Halloween 1978. And these are going to try to throw back to, I think, some of like the movie Maniac series of like the late 90s and early 2000s. That's what Justin Mabry said in the announcement video that Trick or Treat posted a few days ago. That's their intention to have some really highly detailed 8-inch collectible figures, and unlike their larger 1/6 scale figures, which have over 30 points of articulation, these will have decidedly fewer points of articulation, specifically because they want to concentrate on preserving the artistry and the sculpt and the collectability overall, the overall collectability of the figures themselves. So here's a good look at the Michael Myers. They did add some other cool ones like Pumpkinhead and Killer Clowns from Outer Space. There you can see Pumpkinhead. And they also had Motel Hell and Candyman. There you can see them. Some really good ones there. There's another look at Michael, but you guys that are also figures collectors like myself, let me know what you think. I think this shot of this guy looks really good. I do own some of those older 8-inch scale Myers figures, and I really dig them. So I'm probably gonna have to get my hands on this one. Trick or Treat has really done well in the figures department. And just today, actually, they announced they wrapped up Toy Fair earlier today on Monday by announcing their own 3 3/4 inch line. No franchise stuff in that line yet because Super 7 has that at the moment, as does Fright Rags for Halloween 78. All right, so that's the news, and yeah, to wrap up the HNs, as you can see, we are coming to the end of filming. So this is a very exciting time right now. Dirk says not a huge fan of Pumpkinhead, but it looks amazing. Yeah, those figures look really good. Raju is checked in with some Michael Myers love. Awesome. Happy Michael Myers Monday. Happy Michael Myers Monday, everybody. Andromeda says no kung fu. Yeah, no kung fu. No kung fu. I always say, look, I mean, I love this franchise, and I'd rather watch, my least favorite Halloween films than a lot of people's favorite in some of the other franchises. You know what I mean? Like, there's no real bad Michael Myers film for me. Like, I love it. But I mean, there's ways that some of those films could have been improved just a tiny bit, just tweak, just a little bit, just a little bit. But that's for another conversation for another night. What we are talking about tonight, again, Halloween Ends. It has wrapped filming. Well, it hasn't wrapped filming. It's about to. So when we talk again next Monday, we'll be in a whole new place in this production. Um, they're about to wrap. All indications are clear. By all accounts, production is winding down, and tomorrow, maybe Wednesday, maybe at some point, we'll probably get some social media post. Ryan Turek or somebody will post something to the effect of "That's a wrap," and then it'll be official, and we'll know that they've closed up shop and that all of the footage has now moved into the next phase of post production, and editing will begin. And if you know anything about David Gordon Green, he works really fast. Again, a lot of that comes from working with the same people over and over, having the same reliable team. So David Gordon Green, they're going to wrap this, and it's really going to not be very long at all before the marketing starts, if you think about it. Because when they wrapped 2018, Halloween 2018, it was a shorter shoot. They were already wrapped by this time in 2018. And we know when marketing for that launched, it was the first week of June. That's when we got the trailer. Actually, the marketing launched before that. We got the teaser poster as early, I think it was in April of 2018, if I remember right. And then we got, of course, that first trailer in the first week of June. If you remember last year, Halloween Kills. Now, this was after that long wait because they'd shot Kills in fall of 2019 with all intents and purposes for it to be released 1 year later. And we all remember it was just a few days after Halloween 21 when they released that rap video, or Halloween 20, excuse me, a few days after Halloween 2020 when they released that, excuse me, a few days after Halloween 2019. Remember that? It was a few days after Halloween 2019. There we go. They had just wrapped filming and they were releasing that video of the behind the scenes rap video, basically. And we were so stoked because it was basically like seamless. You know, they had just wrapped, and already we were getting some of this teaser footage. And it was just behind the scenes stuff, nothing really editing, but already we were getting, this hype, and then, you know it was a year away from there, less than a year, just less than a year. Of course, everything changed. Didn't work out that way, and it ended up being a whole 2 year wait. And if you'll remember last year when Halloween Kills, when that trailer came around, it was uh, released in late June, the last week of June. But of course, that was released a little prematurely because it got leaked, and because of that whole thing, then we got the rush on the trailer. It was released, if you remember, it was a Thursday night. It was not the way it was planned to come out. It was going to come out the following week. Um, but again, roughly about a month after the trailer for 2018 was released in that year. So, what does all that mean as far as the trailer for Halloween Ends? I know some of you have asked that in the live chat and are going to be wondering about that. Well, best bet, easiest bet is going to be mid to late June, because that's the sweet spot. That's where Universal wants to drop it. That's where the marketing is going to start. And that's also when the Black Phone conveniently opens, which is another Universal distributed, Blumhouse produced horror film. So it makes all the sense in the world for that trailer to arrive the same week that the Black Phone is arriving in theaters, which will be late June. I believe the third or fourth week of June is when the Black Phone opens. That's when I would expect we can look for the first official trailer for Halloween Ends. As far as a poster and other marketing teases, that's going to happen before that. We're going to get stuff like, you know how it goes. You saw it last year with HK. You saw it with 2018. We're going to get some photos in your Empire magazine and some Total Film stuff. And Fangoria is going to have a cool cover and some exclusive stuff. We've got all that to look forward to, and all that's going to happen probably before we even get to the trailer, or right around that time, very soon after, in the case of some of those magazine issues. But we're definitely going to be getting some teaser images very soon. Poster, again, in 2018, that was in April. So maybe in April of this year, we can look forward to that. We know from Jason Blum's comments a few weeks back that he's looking at having that first cut of the film ready in just over a month, which makes total sense. They're wrapping now. So about mid to late April, they would have that first cut ready. They're going to screen it. If there's going to be any last minute reshoots, they knock that out May, and then by mid June, they've got that trailer, they've got that final cut locked in at that point, and the marketing can in full really kick in. And then it's going to be off to the races, off to Haddonfield until October 14th, 2022. All right, let's check in with the live chat over here. Ariel has checked in. What's up, man? Happy Michael Myers Monday. Larry Moore says 7 more months and I'll have the same big ass popcorn and Sprite sitting at the theater. Oh, hell yes. Yes, I mean, just 7 months away. And it is really going to fly by, like I said. I mean, when you look at how long we ended up having to wait for Halloween Kills from when it wrapped, and even from when 2018 was released, 2018 was released, and then we didn't have to wait very long at all for that surprise announcement of 2 more movies. But then, when they wrapped, we thought we had a year's wait, and it was a 2 year wait, and it felt like 10 years because of everything else going on, and because we knew it was done and just sitting there, and it just was so excruciating. So I really feel like, by contrast, this year's going to fly by, and our first looks at this film are really going to fly by. I'm really impressed that there hasn't been a lot of stuff coming out about it. Like you said, David, not a whole lot of extras, casting calls. Not a whole lot of pictures from set that I've seen. There have been some people cruising around Savannah, seeing some stuff. So, but again, all that's in line with what David Gordon Green's told us, that it's going to be a more intimate, smaller film than HK, certainly, and probably than even 2018. and that's what we're going in expecting. So that's no surprise there. But we do know that there is going to be some Halloween night stuff, and of course, there's going to be plenty of Halloween atmosphere. We've seen that in some of the set photos we've seen. And John says, I live in New Jersey. I think I'll go see Ends in Haddonfield. That would be quite fitting in honor of the late, great Deborah Hill, of course, from Haddonfield, namesake of Haddonfield, Illinois, of course. Yeah, they're going to torture us with suspense. It was all building up to this. Yeah, and I want to. I mean, yeah, build the suspense as much as possible. You know, prolong it. You know, that's perfectly fine. I'm happy with that. Jason doesn't want to see the trailer. Trailers nowadays spoil too much. Darlene agrees. Yeah, they do show too much. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, and hopefully they will not, and they will build that suspense. But yeah, you kind of gotta expect that now. If you're gonna watch the trailer, yeah, they are gonna give away. They're gonna give away some stuff, and HK. Hopefully they will be better with the HN's trailer than HK. God, yeah, let's fingers crossed for that. Yeah, whoever was cutting that trailer did not take into account the fact that any fans might be paying at all attention to certain details in that trailer. Uh, so hopefully they'll take into account our obsessions a little bit more in the whoever's cutting these trailers. You know, I always wish that they would just always have the directors cut their own trailers. I always feel like that is better when that happens and would be better when it doesn't happen. Because they know the stuff that they can kind of tease out, or at least consult with them a little bit more. You know, like Star Wars and Marvel, they know, they are damn sure exactly what images, what freeze frames they are putting out there for their fans because they know it's going to be dissected and picked apart and speculated on, and so they're going to play with that and play with fans' expectations. But they're also going to do a good job at not really spoiling too much because they are so good at knowing what their fans are doing. So, um, but aside from those spoilers in the trailer, I mean, I think overall Universal's marketing for these films has been pretty well because they are, especially with 2018, obviously trying to pull in new audiences. Like I said earlier tonight, you know, love it or hate it, these films will be the entry point for an entire generation of fans of this franchise. So it is you know a big deal that you know, and as I've said so many times on these Mondays, I know y'all probably get sick of it, but I'm sorry, but this is the best time there's ever been to be a fan of this franchise or of these movies or just of Michael Myers in general, because we're just living in this crazy time where we're coming up on the movies, third of three movies in the last 4 years. I mean, how badass is that? How awesome is that? Not to mention all this merch coming out all over the place. Not that I can afford much more of it. I mean, I'm going broke here and losing wall and shelf space doing it. But man, I mean, to be a fan of this stuff, I mean, you look back over the decades. I mean, it wasn't like this in the 90s or even in the early 2000s. It wasn't, there just wasn't this much. Even when the Rob Zombie films came out, I mean, that was a real high point for the franchise. It definitely was, and there was a lot of this stuff, but not like it is now. Not like it is now, and just in the pop culture, and that again, we do have to give credit where credit's due. Jamie Lee Curtis, she is a larger than life figure, you know, and so she consistently, you know, an outlet like ET Online, yeah, they could give a shit about this franchise, but it's Jamie Lee Curtis, so in that respect, they do give a shit, and so we get Jamie Lee Curtis talking about Laurie Strode, which ET Online misspelled. So that's that's where we're at with that. Let's see what else is on here. Phil says, Larry, I have medium popcorn and a big water. Everybody placing their orders for opening night. Hell yeah. For opening night, March 14th. So it'll actually be Thursday, March 13th. That would be a good night for watching the HNs, right? HK, I just got to the point where HK just rolled off my out of my mouth. HNs is still, I don't know. It doesn't have the same hit. I gotta work on that a little bit. I'll get there. Larry says, too much. LOL. Back in the 80s, you watched the whole movie in a trailer. That's true, too. Very good point. I mean, if you look back at the trailer for John Carpenter's Halloween and you look at it now, it really does have almost the whole movie in that trailer. It's crazy. So there's that argument, too. They did put almost the whole movie in the trailers back in the day. So but there is an art to the trailers, and again, I go to how Star Wars and Disney, puts so much effort into having fun with their audience and even deceiving them sometimes. But hey, sometimes if that means we're gonna have a better movie going experience, maybe it's a little bit better. HNs, hens. I could, yeah. We can just call it hens for short. Yeah, it's HNs. Yeah, because HE just doesn't hit the hit the same. I think HNs is that fits a little bit better. Sounds a little more like HK to me. HK and HNs. I think you're right. Yeah, because HN, I don't know. It just doesn't HN. It's too um, or HE HNs. That's the one. It's HNs. That's what we're going with. Dirk will be ignoring the trailers. Awesome. David says the night he came home, Halloween ends. I like that. Playing on the the HE. That's good. That's good. I do like that. And I do like, I remember back when remember when Marcus Dunstan and Patrick Melton were developing Halloween Returns? And I remember Marcus did an interview way back then talking about that title and how returns could be seen with different meanings, like returns, like something coming back on somebody, like something returning on them, in addition to the obvious meaning. And I almost like to think of HNs in that way a little bit. Like there's going to be multiple endings in this film, like how there were multiple killings in Halloween Kills. There are going to be multiple endings in HNs. Is how I like to look at it and choosing to see it a little bit. William Shuttle is here. Do we know if Halloween Ends will have any flashbacks 78 of Michael? I hope. We do not know. I do not know. I've not heard anything to indicate that. Um, one way that we knew very early on that there was definitely going to be Halloween 78 flashbacks, because I don't read leaked scripts, or I'm not interested in stuff like that. And but how I knew beyond that, again, is through these casting calls. A lot of times, you can see that they're looking specifically sometimes for older cars, or they're looking for people to come dressed in certain attire, and so you just know, oh, they're filming a party scene here, they're filming a concert scene. And so that was one way that we saw there was a lot of casting calls around the time that indicated 1978 or 70s filming is what we. So you add that all together, and then of course Wilmington Media getting some shots of it turned out to be Aaron Armstrong, in the mask, shooting some of those scenes with young Lonnie Elam, played by Tristan Eggerling. So who we also interviewed. And check that out at HalloweenDailyNews.com. Our interview with Tristan sometime. Andromeda says H22. to call it instead of HNs. I think HNs is character endings. Yes, end credits. Yes, that too. But yes, David, that's what I'm saying. Character endings. I think it could be multiple character endings um, in HNs. Oh yeah, Larry says, "Is Eddie Lee still in Russellville?" Man, I'm so nostalgic. Yeah, I love that. Let's hear more about Russellville. I'm ready. That's where they go from here. If you know, in the Laurie Strode story and the Strode family storyline, yeah, let's pick it up in Russellville. Let's go to Halloween 2023, and maybe it's not in Haddonfield. Maybe it's Michael goes down the road a bit to Russellville for the next Halloween. That'd be one way to go. Dirk says, I remember how toxic people were over H kills, and I loved it still. Love it. It's Michael's masterpiece. I believe HNs will be more story driven. Yes, yes, and yes. I agree with all that. I love it as well. Yeah. Hey, man, to each their own. You know, not everything's for everybody. But yeah, I love H kills. I love it, man. It's I think it's gonna age well as too. I predict that over the years it'll be one that fans will gravitate. Yeah, we'll gravitate too. I think it will be one that fans will gravitate to more and more over the years as they can get out of their own heads. And again, we just live in this age where everybody kind of follows the leader and follows the crowd is what they do. They don't. Nobody wants to kind of be on their own and say, you know what, I actually they hear somebody say this and all their online friends are saying this, so they figure that must be the right answer. And I think that's just part of the world we live in with social media and whatever. But no, I love HK. You guys that watch this regularly know that I love HK. Had a blast with it, and yeah, I can't wait for each ends. It will be more story driven. I think it will be more intimate. All the things that David Gordon Green has said, and it's going to be this third chapter, and I can't wait to see how this trilogy, and we call it a trilogy because it does start with 78, so technically it's four movies, but you see in those rat gifts, I mean, clearly the producers, David Gordon Green, they're all considering this a modern trilogy. You know, the 2018 trilogy, the 40 years later trilogy, the Green trilogy, whatever we're gonna ultimately call this. I don't know what we're gonna ultimately call it. You know, Halloween 4, 5, and 6 concurrently, you could call that the Thorn trilogy or the Jamie Lloyd trilogy. Um, we used to be able to call Halloween 78, Halloween 2, and Halloween H2O. You could consider that a Laurie Strode trilogy once upon a time, but now, that terminology doesn't really apply to that exactly specifically now either. So, um, let's see. William says, I also heard that Michael will be either captured or on death row in the beginning. Any word on that? No, I've not heard anything on that. And again, I mean, I'm not looking for, you know, story spoilers. I don't want that. But what you're describing to me sounds suspiciously like the beginning of the once intended sequel, Halloween Returns, which I mentioned earlier. Um, Marcus Dunstan, Patrick Melton, that was in development with them as writer director team for a while, and that was going to begin with Michael apprehended and on death row, and that's how that one was going to begin. So again, when you say what you just asked in there, that description, I immediately think, well, that sounds like Halloween Returns. So maybe whatever you're hearing regarding that is some misinformation going back to that. Look, there's a ton of misinformation out there. There's not a lot known about the story, and that's the great thing. That's obviously one of the best things about this is that they were able to keep so much secret. Here we are at the end of filming, and we haven't gotten a shot of the mask leaked yet. I mean, I'm happy about that. That's that's great. That's progress for us. You know what I mean? So I think they've learned from these previous films in a lot of ways, and maybe didn't make some of the same mistakes. And then I think a lot of it is due to the fact that those films were filmed, those movies were filmed literally in a different era, a pre-pandemic era. This one was not. This one very differently was filmed. Actually, they started shooting at the height of Omicron, and ironically, now they're wrapping, and Omicron has kind of subsided and is not really affecting us now. So the course of this movie started in a really dicey place, and now here they are. It's a different place, and it's wrapping. But again, going back to those images that we looked at earlier, and just to bring it back home here, is that you know I appreciate the journey. I appreciate the fact that these filmmakers, these producers, uh, these actors, these crew members, 3 films now, 4 years now in, a pandemic thrown in there into it, some record breaking box office thrown in there into it as well, uh, and just all kinds of world events. And you throw all that in there, and here we go with final chapter, the big climax, Act 3. The one. This has got to be like Return of the Jedi. If the last one was Empire Strikes Back, this gotta be Return of the Jedi. So, it's great to see these crew members and how emotional it sounds like they're getting, and that they are feeling this kind of bittersweetness. And we hear it from the actors a little more often, so we know that they're feeling it. But it is cool to see, because we know that so much of their work and Christopher's work. And if you guys read my original 2018 interview with Christopher Nelson, if you've never read it, I urge you to check it out. When I'm done here, I'll try to remember to link it down in the description. But if you haven't checked it out, go to our website, HalloweenDailyNews.com, and search for Christopher Nelson interview. And we did that interview right after they wrapped 2018. And it was, before all the records broke, before the box office, before anybody had ever seen his work in the film. And I just urge you to go and read that interview, because that's where he was coming from in 2018 into making that movie. That's where his mind was at right after completing that first film, and before this crazy fandom got a hold of him and got in his head, and yeah, I'm playing, but you guys know, I mean, this is a crazy fandom. It's a very opinionated fandom, and we know that not everybody is cool with everybody and is going to be as cool as we are. And there are some assholes sometimes. So, but this was before any of that, and before anybody had seen anything, and he couldn't even really talk about much, because it was so early in the process. But anyway, check that one out. Another interview I'm very proud of. All right. Jason Whitener asks, what are your theories on the Ends mask? Well, David says tighter studio in Georgia. Definitely. Andromeda says loyal teams equals no leaks. That is a damn good point. You're right about that. To answer your question, Jason, what are my theories about the Ends mask? I've been debating this in my head. I mean, I kind of feel like we might see Michael get a new mask. I mean, maybe, I don't know. I'm just kind of going back to the simplicity of Halloween 4, when he just, you know, picks up a new mask and they're just selling another one. And then I thought the other day too, y'all tell me what you think about this. Unlikely, admittedly, but it's 4 years later. Is it possible somebody's selling a Michael Myers mask in Haddonfield? You know what I mean? Like, this happened. It happened 40 years ago. It happened in 2018. Bad taste too soon? Yeah, probably. But look at the world we live in. Somebody would probably be selling that in this world we live in within 4 years, right? I don't know. You guys let me know what you think. Do I think Loomis will return in HNs? I mean, I haven't really thought about it. My gut just now, as you asked that question, says no, but everybody loved the 78 scenes. So anything's possible. Everybody loved Tom Jones Jr. as the new Loomis, um, with an assist from Christopher Nelson and his team. I thought it was CGI when I saw it. It was so good. Everybody did, I think, the first time we saw it. Until Christopher shared those images, it was like, no CGI. Here you go. So, I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing him, but I mean, just my gut feeling, not based on anything other than that, is no. I don't think we will. Um, but then again, I mean, anything's possible, and he was certainly one of the high points of the last movie. And David Gordon Green does like to bring back, characters that and performers that you might not expect would be brought back all the time in the follow up. So anything's possible. RKL, hello, happy Michael Myers Monday, welcome. Dirk says, come around to people over time. I hated H3 when I was a kid because Michael wasn't in it. I love it now. Yeah, I mean, that's what I mean. A lot of these films that aren't the most popular right away really grow in popularity later. And this just happens in big genres like this and big franchises like this. I mean, it's kind of like the grass is always greener. You always want whatever you don't have, and because this isn't that last thing or the thing before that, you don't want this. But then as soon as this is gone and you got the new thing, now you want that last thing that you didn't want before because you realize, oh wait a minute, but and I think that's just a lot of franchises and just a lot of fandoms and just kind of a lot of mentalities where there's so much out there when you've got dealing with these massive IPs now, these massive universes or multiverses. In the case of Halloween and Michael Myers, it is truly a multiverse. Protect says, will Michael know how to fly a drone in ends? I haven't really thought about that. Larry says, I even have another one for y'all. People in a group I'm in on Facebook saying they wish they could hear more about that story that graveyard worker was telling Loomis in 78. Oh, yeah, yeah. About old Charlie Bowles in Russellville. Well, dude, I asked John Carpenter. I got the real story of Charlie Bowles. I asked John Carpenter himself when I interviewed him in 2016. Again, go to HalloweenDailyNews.com and in the search bar, search for John Carpenter interview, and it's 2016. And that's one of the questions I asked him was, what was the real story of old Charlie Bowles up in Russellville? And because that's one of my favorite parts too. There was actually going to be a fan film many years ago. There was a fan film in the works, and something fell through with it. I don't think it ever got made, but yeah, that'd be another way to go. Do a whole other Halloween. I mean, talk about a crazy Halloween. Try doing a Halloween movie again without Michael Myers. Do it about Charlie Bowles up in Russellville and no Michael Myers set on Halloween. See how that one goes over. I don't think they're going to attempt that, but it's an idea, and that's a conversation for another night. But yeah, look for that John Carpenter interview for the real story of old Charlie Bowles and what happened up in Russellville. Sensational cinema. Myers can easily roam around town. with the 9 in 19 surgery COVID mask on. So he literally will walk among us. He will definitely kill somebody wearing a Michael Myers mask and getting a new one and get a new one. Yeah, I mean, again, if I had to just make a, David Gordon Green, watching these movies, they're not gonna go so crazy. I hear some of these theories and um, I don't think it's gonna be anything really crazy. It's like my theory with the radio tower. I don't think it's gonna be anything like that crazy. Um and kind of a similar thing with the mask. I think it's gonna be he's yeah. I think they're gonna be selling that mask, and maybe it's a mask of based on the killings. Maybe it's a Michael Myers mask, or maybe it's just a boogeyman mask. You know what I mean? A boogeyman. Maybe in this David Gordon Green Hallowverse, maybe that Michael Myers mask since the '70s has been around in different forms, kind of like the Ghostface mask, or like a generic zombie mask that gets remade and repainted over the years. There's certainly that. So I like that idea that he kills somebody wearing a Michael Myers mask and then claims his new one. And then that would also give us a chance to really have a nice long time, the majority of the movie, I would imagine, with Michael in a nice, brand new, almost 78 looking Myers mask. Obviously it'll be a new one, I would think. Some kind of slightly new, more modern, but still like a clean white, going back to that '78 look, that Shatner, that boogeyman that we love so much. Sensational says, yeah, in '95, yeah, yeah, I know what you meant. Dirk says, have you ever seen Phenomena? Donald Pleasance is in it. It's an Argento film. No, I've not seen that one yet. Andromeda says, do you think they'll ever make a Myers dollhouse that has the entire uh, inside also duplicator? Wow. That would be pretty impressive. I don't know who would do that. I mean, I don't think Funko or NECA is gonna go that far on it, but you never know. I mean, look at that pinball machine. That thing is beautiful, and it is not cheap. But they made those, and they're out there, and so let's see. Protect Safe says Hated 3 so much can never give it another chance because I wanted Michael. Oh man, you gotta give it another chance. H3 is great. David Myers' new mask is in '95. Yeah, there you go. Jason 3 is a great movie in its own realm. Oh yeah, yeah. H3 Season of the Witch. It's awesome. It's great. Yeah, John was before his time on H3. We weren't ready. Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, could you imagine? I mean, yeah, it would drive too many people nuts and they couldn't do it now, but I would still love that idea. Don't even call it the Halloween franchise, but yeah, just let's have a John Carpenter movie set on Halloween night every year for the foreseeable future. I mean, come on. And we almost had that. But if we had had that, would we have had more Michael Myers movies? Would they have ever brought him back? I think had things gone well with H3, they still would have ultimately brought Michael back. I just think it would have been a couple of movies down the road, a decade down the road, but they would have still eventually continued that story and gotten around to it. This is my own thought process and my own multiverse of possibilities and what ifs in the Halloween universe. But yeah, I gotta agree. John was definitely ahead of his time with H3. It's one of my favorites for sure, and it has gotten this re-evaluation really in the last 10 years, specifically since the 2012 release from Scream Factory, that really was a great release and brought H3 out again and really gave us all a chance to reappraise it, re-embrace it, calculate it. Look at it with different eyes. Remove your expectations of, oh, it's got to continue from H2. Take it for what it is, I also love it because it's so meta. Like before meta was even a thing, it was doing things like that Scream would do in the 90s. It would do very effectively with Halloween 78, by the way. But H3 was doing that in 82. So just amazing. And by the way, speaking of H3, this year, of course, you guys know this, marks the 40th anniversary of Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. So look for some exciting content coming here to the channel and to HalloweenDailyNews.com later on this year to celebrate the 40th anniversary of Season of the Witch, one of the best in the franchise. And again, like I keep saying, this is just a great time. This is a big year for this franchise. One of the biggest, maybe the biggest years ever for this franchise. I mean, it's a milestone anniversary for H3. It's the culminating chapter of these massively successful films. I mean, HK broke records for films released during the pandemic. 2018 broke records. Period. I mean, the the the, the road is paved. We just need agents to come out and deliver, and I got faith in this team. I gotta have faith. I've enjoyed these movies so much. I got a lot of faith in this team. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. But as always, let me hear your thoughts. Let me hear in the live chat now. And if you catch this after we're live on a replay, then don't be shy. Let me hear you down in the comments below. And we'll try to address those comments during the next live show or the next HN's report. Let's see here. Dirk wants him to keep the mask the way it was at the end of Kills with blood all over it, grimy and charred. Yeah, I mean, I like that. I wouldn't really have a problem with that. I just think it's going to be hard for them to resist the temptation. They did so good with that 78 mask. I kind of feel like it's going to be hard for them to resist the temptation to not put him back in like a one more like clean white mask for the climax of this movie. But yeah, I would not be surprised and would not have a problem with the damaged mask from HK continuing for at least the early parts of HN's until he does what he has to do to get his new mask. Larry says he's going to be more brutal in HN's. Probably. Sensation says, what do you think if Lori and Lindsay leave the hospital looking for Myers, they slam into him like Ben Tramer's death in OGH2, putting Myers in a coma like part 4, then after 4 years, transfer time? That's a pretty wild theory. I don't know. I again, if I had to guess how they're going to explain the 4-year time leap, like how I would explain it is just real simple. Haddonfield just hadn't celebrated Halloween in the since 2018, and this time they are. They're celebrating again. The combination of the massacre, of the pandemic, they just didn't celebrate. But now they're bringing it back, and so Michael comes back. I mean, to me, why complicate it more than that? I mean, and you guys tell me, would you guys be okay with that? I'd be totally fine with that. I don't need any more explanation than that. It's Halloween. Of course he's going to come back. It's Halloween. Why didn't he come back last Halloween? Well, they didn't celebrate. There weren't kids out trick or treating. There weren't people in costume for him to, go be the boogeyman and go be trick or treat around. So that's probably what I would do, and I've said that before here. That's like the simplest explanation I can come up with. But I don't want something real complicated. I think that would, overcomplicate it needlessly. But speaking of Ben Tramer, that's a whole other question for another night. But I'll go ahead and throw it out here as we're wrapping up here, and y'all just let me know what you think. Are we going to see Ben Tramer in HNs? That's something I'm seriously considering. I think it's very possible that we are introduced to this timeline's version of Ben Tramer. He has not met his fate yet that he met in H2. At least not that we know of. He hasn't met it. So maybe we'll see. Maybe we'll get to meet the new Ben Tramer. Um, let me know what you think about that. Again, down in the comments below. David says Michael's in a cave. So you think the cave dweller working title is literal? That it's Michael literally living in a cave? It's very possible. You know, I mean, I don't know what kind of cave structures are around Haddonfield, but I mean, personally, I haven't taken the cave dweller working title quite as literal. While the mob rules working title for HK did turn out to be pretty literal, um, I see this as a little bit more like the Uncle Orange working title for 2018. Which, what's Uncle Orange? I mean, it's not really relevant to this story, at least that we know of. I don't think so. I hope not. But we get why it was named that, and so I think this is kind of a little bit more like that. I don't think it necessarily alludes to Michael literally living in a cave, but some kind of cave-like structure. Sure, yeah, we could see that. You know, some kind of homeless burnout place. Yeah, we could see that happening for sure. And then again, maybe it is little cave. Maybe the fish just wash up in the cave, and that's what he eats, and that's where he hangs out for 4 years until they bust out the jack o' lanterns again. Somebody lights a jack o' lantern, like Sam showing up when somebody breaks one of the rules of Halloween. Michael shows up whenever anybody in Haddonfield, like Lori said in that teaser. You know, somebody will be alone. It'll be Halloween, and he'll be there. Yes, yes. I know you were kidding, Dave, but you know it's possible. It's very possible. Um, but I've not taken that to mean literal myself. Let's see. Larry says, "Y'all forgive me, but Michael was curing Phil's back problems while Sandra watched poor Sandra. Yeah, that was brutal. That was brutal. I do like the idea though in that scene. I saw somebody tweet out a few weeks ago that that scene was actually Michael learning to get more comfortable stabbing with his right hand because we remember from 2018 he's very much left-handed it seems, and but after his mishap with his fingers, he's got to get a little more comfortable with the right hand, and so that makes a lot of sense that he wants to get a little practice on Phil there. I love that scene. Definitely one of the most disturbing scenes in HK and one of the most memorable deaths in the whole movie for sure. All right, Sensational says if Michael dies, will Eel find a new body to inhabit? Hence the casting call for mean-looking face boy, like when Jamie stabbed her mom at the end of part 4. Um, that's probably too much for me to speculate on at this point. I mean, look, look, any. My thought is if you were going to ask me how to end Halloween Ends, I mean, you have your finale, you have your climax, your big battle, your whatever. Michael's dead, whatever. Um, but to me, the only way to truly end the movie is the same way they ended the original. It's got to end the exact same way, and I think, you know, which is Michael's done, he's dead, he's on the ground, whatever, and then he's not. And then we get the theme, and then we get those shots, maybe even shots from all of the previous 3 films. We get those locations, where he was at throughout those films, and he's just still out there. Um, Again, that's my 5 second pitch for how to wrap up this trilogy. You know, I'm sure there's better ways, but to me, I mean, why do you really want to overthink it too much? I mean, it's the boogeyman, it's Michael Myers. So, could it get passed down? Absolutely. It could be. Could it end with like a H4 moment where Allison, a year later, we get the POV and it turns out it's Allison at the end? Sure. That could be totally cool, really. I mean, it could end. Maybe Allison's our final girl. It's over. Then it's a year later. It's Halloween again. And we just see that POV and we're like, oh shit, Michael's back. Michael's back. Only big twist at the end, not Michael. They take it off instead of Will Sandin as young Michael standing there. Instead of Danielle at the top of the stairs. Sure. They take it off, the switch out of the POV, and it's Allison wearing a Myers mask or wearing a clown mask or something like that. Sure, yeah, I'd be all for that. That'd be a great way to wrap it up too. And it would definitely pay some homage, to some of the greatest moments in the franchise right there. Both of those moments from '78 and H4 at the same time, you could do that. So yeah, that'd be one way to go. As far as how do I think it's gonna go, yeah, I mean, I'm not making predictions right now, but if I had to, if I was forced to put money down onto it, yeah, they'll end it the same way the '78 film ended. Michael's there, he's dead, and then but the last shot is, but he's not. And then yeah, let's see a few locations from throughout this trilogy as that theme plays us out. Boom, fade to black. Shows Mask on ground with fog, cut shot to someone else, then back to where Mask was, gone with the fog. I like that. That's a good one. Larry likes my idea of Michael disappearing like he did in the first one. I mean, I just, you know, it just makes sense to me. Michael's form of acupuncture Andromeda. That's funny. Sad when he's killed the drone couple. Oh, yeah. David says, yes, supernatural ending. Yeah, man. I mean, well, again, check out my interview from 2016 with John Carpenter. Again, I asked him straight up. You guys know I've talked about this, but I asked him, is Michael a man, a psycho, just that? A psycho in a mask? Or is he something more? Is he supernatural? Carpenter's answer to me was he's both. He is both. He is a man, but he's also something more. And that's why, again, I mean, I've said this before, and I'm not going to get on the whole thing. It's already late. I said I wasn't going to be on here long. And here we go with a 2 hour thing. So I'm not going to get on the whole thing. But again, I mean, I see in some of these fake book groups and stuff, some of these questions that some people ask, and it's just like, like logic questions of like, well, how did Michael and why did, and sometimes I just feel like the answer is there is no answer, and that's the whole point is you don't know. There is not an answer. That's go back to '78. There's not a lot of motive and answer and reason for a lot of what he does. And that's what makes it terrifying and great and why Michael is the coolest. Because you can see and get the story of where Freddy's coming from and why he's doing what he's doing in Jason. And but not with Michael. You're not afforded that luxury and that security of knowing, oh, well, that's why. There is no why. There is no why to so much of what he does. And that's the whole point. And so when you start getting into all these questions of why, look, I love the Rob Zombie movies. I've said that a million times. And I love them because they're so different and there's something else. So if you want the why, there you go. That's a great exploration of plenty of reasons why plenty of this mythology could take place in a world where why and reason exists within Michael Myers. But if you want John Carpenter's The Shape and the original The Shape, yeah, that there's no reason or rhyme to that. I mean, there is to him, of course. I mean, in his mind, there is, and what little bit we can see, but yeah, we're supposed to ask those questions. You're supposed to wonder. There is not supposed to be a clear answer, and yeah, him doing his little decorations and displays and art projects with the deceased, with his victims. That's kind of Michael's signature, as much as almost as much as the mask itself is. That aftermath is so much a part of what he does and what makes him terrifying, scary, weird, unique, and pretty damn cool in the realm of when we're ranking the coolness of slashers, I have to say. Yeah, yeah, David, you get it, man. Yeah, right on. It's up to you. Theater of the mind. That's right. That's right. Yep. Jake said it too. That's exactly right. We're left with questions at the end of 78 found that we never supposed to get the answers to. That's right. Exactly. Yeah. And I don't expect HNs to answer those questions, and I definitely don't want HNs to answer those questions. No. Yeah, I want to be left with those same questions. Let us think we're getting close to those answers, maybe, and then pull the rug out at the end and show us definitively that no, that's not. You know what I mean? That I can see. But yeah, leave us with those questions, because that's the whole point. And that was the genius of from 2018 saying we're going to cut a new path from there. We're going to ignore this brother sister thing and cut a different path to that. Let's see here. Sensational says JLC said the film was going to piss us off. That's a bold statement because Kills made a lot of fans angry. Yeah, I don't know what she means by that. I've thought about that statement a little bit. Again, I'm not making a whole lot out of it because, quite frankly, look, we all love JLC, but I mean, is it Laurie Strode that has made this franchise what it is and kept us coming back, like she said, or is it a little more Michael? I mean, again, Jamie Lee Curtis says she's not a fan of these movies. Like, she's not a horror fan. Like, you know what I mean? She's a a talent, and God bless her, but she doesn't like scary movies like we like scary movies. So I don't know that. I guess what I'm saying is I don't know if she knows what would necessarily piss us off or not. Does that make sense? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what she knows. I mean, maybe that means, for instance, maybe she means it'll piss us off because Michael gets away and Laurie dies. Evil wins in the end. In which case, from her point of view, oh, that's going to piss everybody off. But I got a feeling that for a lot of our audience, that wouldn't necessarily be the worst ending imaginable and wouldn't leave a lot of us pissed off necessarily. Um, there's a lot of ways it could end that I could see it pissing us off, but yeah, I've thought about what she might mean by that. I mean, but I'm also not making that much out of it because at the end of the day, yeah, she, I, it's like I said a minute ago. I don't know that she knows really what would piss us off or not. You know what I mean? I mean, she's not a fan of these movies like we are. You know what I'm saying? So the stuff that she might think might piss off fans might be something that maybe fans have been wanting for a while or would be okay with or not. Maybe we are all going to be pissed off with it. But again, I've loved these last two movies, so I'm going into this with hope and high expectations for an awesome Act 3. Yeah, Jake says not a great marketing move to tell fans the movie is going to piss people off. Yeah, definitely not a great marketing move. I agree with that. Michael is cool. He never buckles under pressure. That's right. Dirk says Michael kills them all, then vanishes into the night outro music, fade to black. Yeah, that works. All right, so we're about to wrap it up here, guys. Again, let's have another moment here for great Mitchell Ryan, man in black himself. So, like I said, we are moving now into post production phase. And this time is going to fly by. Like I said, it is not going to be long before we start getting some first look images like this one. Dirk says, have a feeling it's going to be great. Hell yeah. All right. Real quick, we're going to wrap this up. But not before we do a couple shout outs. All right. Here we go. Couple social media triple M shout outs this week. We like to do this a couple each week. Starting off over on Twitter from Beth Manji. Love this gift from Michael Myers Monday. Take that Monday. Yeah, we've seen it before. We've shown it before, but it's always good. Moving on over to Instagram now. This is That Halloween Movie Collector. He says, now that Halloween Ends is nearing completion, time to count down to the Halloween Ends trailer. In the meantime, I have many trailers to look back on and keep me company until then. Happy Michael Myers Monday. And check this out. I thought this was awesome. He's got the actual film trailers for most of the films in the franchise, it looks like right there. Pretty damn cool. Also on Instagram, this is Daro Cosplayer with an awesome Halloween Kills cosplay right there. I see Daro every week, always posting great Michael Myers Monday content. I just pull these randomly from the Michael Myers Monday hashtag over on Instagram. Patrick says, that's me. I'm the Halloween movie collector. Dude, that's awesome. That's great, man. Hell yeah. Dude, I am jealous with that trailer collection, man. Also on Instagram, this is XXXectox. I just thought this was a great shot, apparently by Prum Thai. Anyway, that is the Trick or Treat Studios Officer Francis prop head. Another one from Instagram. This is at Cursed Knife. She says the house is on fire, but this won't stop Michael. Thought that was a cool shot in the flames. Great looking mask, too. And look at this epic ink here from Goliath Needles. Literally killing it. I'd say so. Definitely killing it. That is an awesome Myers tattoo right there. And finally, another one from our buddy Tyler Main. He says, there comes a time in life when leaving yesterday behind is the wisest thing one can do. Quoting an unknown saying. Tyler advises all to let go of whatever's holding you down and get this Michael Myers Monday going right. Can't argue with that. Damn, David said he's got most 35 millimeter trailers as well. Hell yeah. That's awesome. Damn right. All right, so there we go, guys. There we go. That is this week's show, everybody. Thanks for hanging out. Man, what a marathon. Didn't mean to be on here this long this night, but, you know, it happens. Time flies when we're having fun, right? When we're killing time together, right? But as always, I appreciate you guys coming by and joining me for this Michael Myers Monday Live. Now that it is Tuesday, happy Terrifier Tuesday, everybody. As always, you can find out more about everything we've talked about tonight anytime at HalloweenDailyNews.com. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of our upcoming live streams, our ongoing coverage of all things Halloween Ends, of course, and lots of other cool Halloween movies, horror and otherwise, and other Halloween goodness. It's just getting going for Halloween 22, and we got lots of cool stuff coming to the channel. You may have seen earlier today, we dropped a new interview with writer-director Sam Walker. His new film, The Seed, drops on Shudder this Thursday. I urge you to check out my interview with Sam and then check out his film on Shudder this Thursday. I think you're going to enjoy both of them. I definitely did. Coming next week, I teased this last week, we've got a lot of cool stuff regarding Morris costumes. We're celebrating Morris costumes next week. We got my exclusive interview with Scott Morris himself. We've also got exclusive video walkthrough tours of Morris's corporate headquarters and warehouse in Charlotte, North Carolina, as well as their flagship retail store in Charlotte, North Carolina, including the upstairs storage area of the retail store that is not currently open to the public. And we got some all kinds of behind the scenes footage um, and cool stuff to check out in all of those videos. That's all going to be coming next week after my interview with Scott Morse drops. So lots of cool stuff coming here on the channel, and that's in addition to our regular daily news coverage of all things Halloween, and especially all things Michael Myers. And of course, this year, more than ever, all things Halloween ends. Awesome. Tib Travels has just donated a $2 super chat. Thank you so much, everybody. Let's toast Tib. I work at Universal Orlando and wanted to see you. When we were there, yeah, we were just there back in January. That's awesome. That's awesome, man. Thank you so much. And welcome. Happy Michael Myers Monday. David Suber, thank you so much for helping make this a great show. This has been fun. Larry, thank you for being here. Thank all you guys. Dirk, it has been fun. Thank you so much. Uh, Joel says, I hope Halloween Ends will be bad sequel. Well, you keep those hopes and vibes to yourself. I'm hoping for the best over here. Patrick says, awesome show. Thanks, Matt. Have a good night, you two, brother. Thank you so much. Absolutely, everybody. This has been great. Again, Tib travels at Universal Orlando. I do appreciate the super chat. And yeah, check out our Universal Orlando videos if you haven't already. We got some good footage from there as well, including that awesome um, Halloween shop at Islands of Adventure, which I found to be just like the coolest place in the park. All right, guys, you guys are awesome. Like I said, subscribe, like the video, share the video, drop us a comment down in the comments section below. That would be awesome. That helps us in the algorithms and helps other people find us as well, and helps keep the conversation going long after these live streams as well. Look for us next Monday, and but lots more coming between now and then. So that's why you want to subscribe. That's why you want to turn on the notifications so you don't miss any of it. Until then, I'm Matt Arts for Halloween Daily News. Thank you for watching, and happy Michael Myers Monday, everybody. Yeah.